Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel, Native Cafri Madridista. Here we're going to speak about football and Real Madrid in particular, and we are celebrating the 124th anniversary of the greatest club in the world, Real Madrid. And I've prepared another special thing. This is going to be a two-part video as well because it's so long, and I'm so excited because Obi Mikel is going to meet Roberto Carlos. This is again the OB1 podcast. Let's give them a like. So check out his originals. I'm sure he's doing a lot of great podcasts. I'm so excited because Roberto Carlos for me is the greatest left back of all time. I remember his crazy free kicks. I remember his quirky personality. And I remember him bringing the baton in the last half of his season to Marcelo that later continued this tradition, well deservedly so. And we don't have this kind of Brazilian we do have a Brazilian on our left flank, but not a left back. And who can be better than this legend? I was so excited because there was a video. Maybe I can share it with you sometimes, guys. I haven't even thought of that. That Roberto Carlos was saying to me, "Happy birthday" on my birthday. Yeah. So I got it because I got a Madridista card. And if you don't know what a Madridista card, it's a card that basically you support there are different tires, like there's Madridista regular, Madridista children, Madridista premium. So I have the Madridista premium, I believe. And you just support your team. You just, it's a way to support your team and gives you all kind of benefits and whatever. But for me, it's more symbolic, I'm a part of this club. I'm a part of more than 1 million people around the world that are actually club members in this specific way that is possible. I'm wearing for this broadcast, I'm wearing a very special shirt that I haven't worn actually in a few years. This was given to me by my brother, my late brother. I believe that he has given me this around 2007. And I've been playing this all the time. This is the Zidane shirt from the World Cup that he was playing when he retired. And it's an original shirt, and he bought it for me because he knew I loved Real Madrid. So he just bought me a Zidane shirt. And I'm wearing it today, first of all, to remember my brother Enav. And thank you so much for being the amazing brother that you were for me for all those years that I've met you. I miss you very much. And also, it's just very exciting to sit here with this shirt and do the broadcast in the birthday of Real Madrid. Of course, I'm doing everything prior to the birthday, to the anniversary, but everything will be uploaded to my channel. All the parts, everything will be uploaded one after the other. And yeah, so without further ado, let's check out the legend, Roberto Carlos. He's speaking to Obi Mikel.
One of the greatest left back in history, football history. Roberto Carlos, welcome to the OB1 podcast.
Gracias. Thank you very much.
Beckham didn't play for the fans, he played for Real Madrid, for his teammates, to win, and that's the difference between him and other players individually. Ronaldinho knew his limits, for how long he could play at the highest level. I think that when he reached his peak, he just wanted to have fun.
We saw the pictures.
It's a built-in. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Of course, today he's the ambassador of Real Madrid. This is why we see him all the time in events and games.
When people ask me
And
about it, I
I'm
don't
so
like to
happy
talk
because
about
he is
much
Real
about
Madrid,
it.
He's one of the
Because
legendary
it
captains.
brings me back to memories of being more
An
like
icon
a
of Real
war
Madrid.
than in a football match.
The best player at that moment, all of a sudden, became sick.
He told me, Roberto, speak to Zico and Zagallo and tell them I want to play. And I said, Ronaldo, calm down. And Ronnie told me, it feels like a boss run over me.
It's very interesting. I've never heard this Ronnie
podcast.
kind of nickname for
I'm pleased
R9.
today to say
Ronnie.
that I'm joined by,
Kind of strange.
arguably, for me, one of the greatest left back in history, football history.
Right.
It's incredible. And we've traveled all the way from Dubai, London, to come just to meet you, just to be here with you today. Roberto Carlos, welcome to the OB1 podcast.
Gracias. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. I'm happy.
Yeah? How are
very
you?
happy to
How
see
are
you.
you today?
Good.
You good? Yeah.
Feliz, yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay. Tell us, what is life? What is life now with Roberto Carlos? What are you doing these days?
With all my history in football, and especially with Real Madrid, I am now an ambassador for the club.
Em especial de Real Madrid. Yo ahora soy
I travel the world talking about Real Madrid,
embajador del club.
and I'm incredibly
Viajo por el
happy.
mundo hablando del Real Madrid.
I always said that I work more now than when I was a player.
De que cuando jugaba fútbol. I'm very happy now.
Really? How is that possible? They must love you so much. They give you a lot of, you travel first class, you travel all around the world to represent the club. It must be an honor for you, for the club to still, hold you in such a high prestige to make sure that they take you different places to represent the club.
Sí, es una
Yes,
cosa importante
it's an
porque
important
was-
thing that
He was a captain behind Raul and Guti, right? So when Raul wasn't the captain, many times Roberto Carlos was the captain because Guti many times was like a player, on the bench. He wasn't always playing in the first 11. So there was Raul and there was Guti and then there was Roberto Carlos. So Roberto Carlos, for me, is one of the legendary captains of Real Madrid. He's not just an icon, and he was impenetrable. I remember David Beckham saying, maybe I find this article sometime, but I remember David Beckham saying when he was still in United, before the Real Madrid game in 2003, he said that the toughest opponent that he ever faced was Roberto Carlos because he knew it was really, really hard playing against him. And he's talking about David Beckham as well because he admired him back as like the right winger that I have to stop all the time because he's so dangerous. And later, of course, they play together. And yeah, I mean, Roberto Carlos he had such an ability to pass players, to move with the ball, to pass the ball, to give great balls. I remember assist that he gave to Ronaldo. I remember assist that he gave to Raul, and Raul and him, they communicated so well together. He just knew the movement. And the way, we don't speak enough about how good he was with the outside balls, the throw-in balls. He was maybe the best throw-in player. And I remember, back in the 90s and so on, it was a big thing, like how far away can you throw and accurate can you throw the ball. But they don't do that anymore. Like, it's not a big thing. It's just, okay, let's pass the ball in and let's try to do everything very quickly. Usually they just pass it to somebody quick that does a movement and then gives the pass back. And it's like, but then it was like more, and Roberto Carlos he was a genius in this, And plus his free kicks, like, you would never know. It could hit a bird and it could be like one of the most incredible goals you have ever seen. He had the most incredible ability to kick with outer side of the foot, and it was just take either go very, very straight and very, very strong, or take like weird trajectories, like the very famous goal against France and so on. What a left back! You don't have any players like this today. Very, very tough nowadays. He would get a lot of yellow cards and a lot of red cards, and it was just a different football, different time for football,
Real Madrid does. And I think Madrid was the first among other clubs in the world to have former players become part of the club as an ambassadors, directors, or
Maybe,
mentors.
yeah, I don't know about
It's
that.
important for such a big club to have former players with a great history at the club working with it.
Dentro, trabajando.
That's very important.
Yes,
you
it's
said
very
that, though.
important, yes.
In Chelsea, no.
No?
No.
And you know what? And you know that it's also, we have presidents of honor, and we have people inside the system that is former legends of the club, either people who trained, that were managers, or ex-players, or both. And it's so good. It's always so good, to have this, because you look at the person and you admire them already, and they have this connection. They know what the club is. It's very important. I love that, and I want even more. I want Ronaldo Nazario to go back. I want Figo to go back. I want Zidane to be back. I want so many players that we loved and watched, and by the way, it's really great to see different players that maybe didn't have the chance to be as much as they wanted. Well, I don't know why, for example, we don't see Salgado more. Why don't we see? I think that Salgado did something. Maybe he was a pundit or something, but Michel Salgado was such a Madridista. For me, for me. And there will be more players now. The players that are just retiring. I'm sure Toni Kroos is going to come back. I can't wait for Toni Kroos to come back to Real Madrid. I'm telling you guys, this will be Luka Modric, Toni Kroos. I mean, maybe as a duo, maybe they can trade together. Maybe Luka Modric can be like the head coach, and Toni Kroos can be his assistant, or vice versa. Oh my God! And then Casemiro will be like a physical trainer or something crazy like this. I don't know. All three of them together.
Do you think this is something that is so important in such a big club,
Tá?
so that when young players join the football club, they can still understand the culture, the tradition of the football club, because you guys will tell them what the tradition and the culture of the football club is about.
Yes, it's something we do at Real Madrid with the academy and the first team. The veterans, the former players act as a mentor, so the youngest understand what Real Madrid is all about.
Exactly.
This means that when the young kids join the first team, they already have the mindset of what it means to play for the Real Madrid badge.
Amazing. Do you miss playing football since you retired 10 years, almost 10 years ago? Do you miss it?
I stopped playing more than 10 or 12 years ago. I miss it because we play at the top level. And of course, training every day, flying every time, the football atmosphere is incredible. And I really miss being with my teammates in the dressing room.
Flight every time.
So many stories, warm-ups, games. Well, I miss the football atmosphere just as much as you do.
Yeah, I miss it too.
The force in words. The bet on winning.
Team with bet. I think you are the greatest left back that's ever played football. I'll put you right up there. I know I played the likes of Ashley Cole, and some people can say Maldini as well. But for me, I think
Ashley Cole
you
was
are
incredible.
The best.
I loved Ashley
Looking
Cole.
at today, the way the fullbacks play, when the fullbacks come in the middle and try to play as a number 6 or
The
number
problem
8.
with Real Madrid is that you have so many legends. Each and every generation, you have new legends. So you say, oh my God, well, Higuain was great, and then you have Benzema. Then Benzema was great, and now you have Mbappe. Mbappe was great, then you had Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo, then before him you had Ronaldo. So all the time you have new legends. It's like endless. I'm sure we're not talking about great left backs of the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, the 50s. We had really, really good players all of the time. And I'm sure that when we won 5 Champions League in a row back in the mid-50s until the 60s, I'm sure we had a left back that we are not even aware about his special abilities, because we always speak about the players up front, right? Puskás and Di Stefano and whatnot. And we sometimes neglect those players because they didn't have TV to show these players and their level and their abilities and all of that. And also they didn't have the continuity. Like players today, when there's a very, very good player for Real Madrid left back, he can stay there for a long time, sustain some injuries, but still be very, very good and continue, and then be in his national team, be one of the most significant players. So he's playing international level as well. So you see him more. And then there was this, sometimes you can have 3 years one player, and then he would never be in the national team because they liked a different player, and that's it. So you don't hear a lot about him. And this is how the history of football has changed. So it's really, really hard, because now you have Marcelo that has played so many years and is retired and had 6 Champions Leagues. So who is better? Some people would say Marcelo. Some people would say that Marcelo, and they have a case. Marcelo had more freedom with the ball. He was more like a midfielder sometimes. He knew less to do attack, but he scored many important goals in the Champions League in the higher levels, even in the final. So it's just, I mean, you can't really compare, but for me it will always be Roberto Carlos.
would you have been comfortable playing that way?
Ashley
these
Cole
days?
is a very
It depends on the
very high
system
level
and depends a lot
left
on the
back for
coach.
sure.
I play in a four-man system, a 3-5 system,
Sistema de 5. Isso
and
depende.
that depends on my characteristics. For example,
Característica, por exemplo,
Cafu, Zanetti, Ashley Cole, Paolo Maldini. He was more as a center back. Nowadays, fullbacks drift inside a lot, like Marcelo.
Mucho por el medio, Marcelo. En la
Back
época,
then, Vicente Lizarazu.
jugadores más
There are
con
more
mucha calidad.
high-quality players, very
Técnico, ¿no?
technical.
El mío lo
Mine
lleva más
was more
fuerza.
about strength, just
Solo
playing open in the
izquierda
left
y
wing,
ataque y
attacking
defensa, ¿no?
and defending.
Para ti sería un problema, que tú tenías que hacerme la cobertura.
But in modern football,
el fútbol
fullbacks
moderno
have a bit
da
more
un poco
freedom
más de
to come
libertad para los
inside,
laterales,
outside,
venir por
score
dentro, por
goals,
fuera,
provide assists.
meter goles, pases de goles. A mí me
I like
gustaba
playing
jugar
more
más
on the wing
por banda,
because of my
por
physical
mi
strength.
potencia física.
I don't think I will
No
change my
creo
playing
que
style to play
cambiaría
more
mi estilo
centrally
de
or
juego
more
para
facing
jugar
the
más
goal.
por
I
dentro,
love
más dedicado a la
having the
portería.
whole
Me
wing.
encantaba tener toda la banda porque sabía que tenía buena cobertura. Sabía
I
que
knew
tenía
I had
a
Ronaldinho, Zidane,
a
Raúl,
Zizou,
Figo,
a
Beckham,
Raúl, a
Mauro
Figo,
Silva,
a Beckham,
incredible players. And
Mauro
always
Silva.
ball to the wing, the ball to Roberto, the ball to Roberto. And I felt important to the
Sempre
team.
balón a la banda, balón a Roberto, balón a Roberto. Y yo me sentía importante para el equipo.
Amazing, amazing. Do you think now, obviously, with this system now, because a lot of the teams play this way, do you think now we're missing out? We're missing out on the next Roberto Carlos because a lot of the managers now they want this inverted left back they call them. Do you think we're missing out on the more traditional Roberto Carlos?
Modern football is different from my time. And your time too. For example, at Chelsea, you have players right-footed
For example, Chelsea.
playing on the left, or Vinicius or Mbappe playing on the left, being right-footed, running more through the middle. Football has changed a lot, defensively and also offensively, so it's a normal evolution. Although, of course, in our time, it's much easier, all in the midfield distributing the ball. Nowadays, one player marks and another plays. In my time, Roberto Carlos will push forward, Panucci will defend, or Michel Salgado will defend. So football has changed a lot, and for the better. I don't see that much of difference because I used to cover 11 or 12 kilometers per game. Nowadays, a left back or a right back cover 11 or 12 kilometers. Some things have changed, which is why football is so physical in our time. Quality and technically more show, more spectacular.
12 kilómetros. Hoy en día,
Today there is more concentration, a lot of more
12
physicality.
kilómetros.
Played against Ashley Cole, and I thought, obviously, I watched you, growing up, and then when I played against with Ashley Cole, I was like, oof, this guy, always going. And then when I see some of your clips, when I watch, the Real Madrid games, I see the way you were, and I know you would like to be humble. Roberto Carlos, Marcelo, Ashley Cole, Maldini. Who do you think is the best?
These are good names, huh?
Maldini was a master,
Era
both as a
professor,
defender and as a captain.
tanto defensivo como jugaba el capitán.
Ashley Cole, for me, I wanted to be just like him, just like Ashley Cole, offensively and also as a defender.
Igual que Ashley
Very
Cole,
intelligent.
ofensivo, defensivo,
He took my
inteligência.
words. I wanted to say that Ashley Cole had this. I'm holding the ball, I'm looking at the field, and I'm seeing what is the best way to act to the game. He was more like a midfielder in his mind. It's a little bit like there is this legend, one of the most capped players of Bayern Munich, and I don't remember his name now. He retired like 7 or 8 years ago, and since then there has been another legend there. I think he was the right back. But guys, I mean, was it Zanetti that was the left back of Inter? Zanetti. He was incredibly intelligent. So there were so many great defenders over the years. I mean, just to say that one is, I think you should say your favorite, It's just that Roberto Carlos, he was my favorite. I loved him. I loved the way that he played. I can't say the best. I mean, the best, like the best for me personally, my favorite. You know.
But Marcelo, for me, is a number one.
Marcelo.
Marcelo é.
Marcelo was spectacular. He attacked, defend, jump, control the ball, not make opponents. He was a very complete player. Look, Maldini was top. Ashley Cole was top. I was okay, but Marcelo, I brought him to Real Madrid and then I watched him grow, winning the Champions League, La Liga, and the Club World Cup.
Eu lhe traído praticamente a Real Madrid e logo lhe visto crescer.
And in my opinion, Marcelo, of all the players on the list, is the number
Em
one.
minha opinião, Marcelo.
Of course, we have to remember that Roberto Carlos famously won the World Cup in 2002, obviously. So this is something that Marcelo doesn't have. He has a bronze medal or something with, I don't know, in 2008 or something. I don't remember exactly, but nothing close to World Cup. So, I mean, you can't take that away either from Roberto Carlos, and that's another reason to put him so high level at the top. He was just, yeah, for me, he was number one.
Marcelo is number one.
Wow. That's a big shout.
Amazing.
Big shout.
Roberto Carlos out da lista.
Okay, Roberto Carlos out this list. Out this
Roberto,
list.
out the
Galacticos, tell me about the Galacticos. You guys, you had some incredible team. Fantastic team. You, Figo, Zidane,
Beckham, Raúl,
Ronaldo.
Casillas.
Casillas, incredible.
Right.
Incredible.
He's saying Raul with no shame. You know, this is what I don't like. People are saying the Galacticos. Back then, it was obvious that we would say Raul and more names. But now they forget about him. I don't understand this. Like they say Ronaldo Nazario. For me, Ronaldo Nazario wasn't the legend that Raul was for Real Madrid. Raul scored 3 times more goals. He played more years, obviously, and he was decisive to games. He was so intelligent. I mean, Ronaldo, as far as like history is going, is a bigger name, but I don't know. They just forget about Raul too much. That's my point, guys.
Out of all these players that I mentioned, who is the best? Who is wow? Who is the guy?
Beckham, of course, Beckham. Because Zidane was top. Zidane was the best. But David Beckham was also a close friend of mine, my role model, the best in training, the best
Wow,
during games,
the role
running all
model.
the
Oh
time,
my
all
God.
the incredible passes. He played with all his heart. No matter what people say about Ronaldo, Sisu, Raúl, Figo, Morientes, Michel Salgado, but in the 4 years of the Galacticos, in my opinion, Beckham was the most consistent, the best. Because if Zidane was top, he stayed at the top. But Beckham was for the team. Beckham attacked, defend, he passed, he did everything the team needed. Things that the public didn't see, but we in the team on the pitch
I love that.
saw
I love
all
that.
these attributes. He was very special.
Na minha opinião,
Wow.
Beckham ha sido muy regular.
So that's what you guys see. You see the intensity and everything that he brings to the to the team during training.
The
He's
heart.
always
Oh my
training.
God.
The
Look at
intensity
how
and
they
everything during
appreciate
games.
Beckham.
You guys, you
in
see
Real
it,
Madrid.
the teammates, you
They
see
appreciate
it, but
him
the
so
fans, they
much.
don't see what he's doing for the team. And that's very important. Is that why you guys accepted him very, very quickly into that Galacticos?
Exato. Era lo que
Exactly, that's why we value the
mucho.
most. Beckham didn't play for the
Beckham
fans.
jugaba
He
para el
played
fútbol.
for Real Madrid, for
Beckham
his
jugaba
teammates, to
por
win.
el Real Madrid,
And
para
that's the
sus
difference
amigos,
between him
para
and
ganar.
other
Y
players
esa es la
individually.
diferencia de otros jugadores individualmente hablando. Él
He
piensa
thought
en
about
el
the
equipo.
team, while others just play for themselves. So there is a huge difference. He's English.
Inglés. Is English.
Full concentration with and without the ball. Great mentality. A team player. And of course, having Beckham at Real Madrid with all his qualities, his footwork, his strength ability,
En el Real Madrid,
his
con
assists,
toda la
his
calidad
free
de
kicks,
pie, de golpeo, de
was just
gol,
spectacular. For
de-
me, he
de
was
free
very
kicks. Era
complete.
espectacular. Para mí, muy completo.
Let's talk about your fellow countryman. For me, I think a lot of people will say arguably one of the best, if not for his injuries, R9. Please tell me how good. just tell everybody how good was he. If he wasn't that injury prompt, if he wasn't very constantly injured, do you think he would be, people today will talk about him as they talk about, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo as one of the greatest players of all time?
I met Ronnie in 1992 with the Brazil national team, and from then on, we always share a room. We grow up together. Great career with PSV, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Brazil national team. Ronnie always be the number one. That's why when people ask me about the best in the world, we always talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, Zidane, Luis Figo, Beckenbauer, Pelé, Di Stefano, Puskas. And Ronnie doesn't need much discussion. Ronnie has his own story. And all the former players say he's the number one. In everyone's opinion, the number one of all time in our era is Ronaldo.
So you think without those injuries, he would have been the best?
The same goes with the injuries. For many people, he is the best player in the world of all time.
That's a good one.
And
I'm going to
wherever
speak
his
about
trophy or
Ronaldo
with
in
all
more
the injuries,
depth and to say something about it. I'm not going to start giving like all my opinions here. I have a lot of respect for R9, and I think that he has given so much, especially in the first 2 seasons that he played. He's given so much to Real Madrid, and you could see his talent. You could see the way that he would finish goals. You could see his communication with Zidane mainly. Zidane would give him the killer pass all the time. They had great communication. And I was sad the day that he left. I was sad because even though you have Van Nistelrooy, that was one of the greatest strikers of his era, his generation, competing with people like R9. Nazario was just, he was a very heartful player. And I loved seeing him in Milan later. He's in our hearts. He's in history, like Carlos is saying, Roberto Carlos.
here is Ronaldo is the number one.
Yeah. Because I didn't play against him. But now when I watch some of the clips, the way he played, the pace, the power, the dribble, everything, incredible. Just tell us, please, any story that you think that made him so good. Like you said, you've known him for such a long time. Is there any story that you say this is what made him the best player?
For me, it's complicated to talk about Ronaldo because I met him when he was very young, and I know him very well, both personally and professionally. I grew up with Ronnie. I saw the joys and I experienced the sadness during his recovery. Very close to the 98 and 2002 FIFA World Cups, the problem he had at the hotel in Paris. I lived through all the best moments and also the worst. And that has made him even greater. And that's why everyone loves him so much. Because Ronnie has a happy side. Ronnie is always happy, on and off the field. He used to say, Roberto, help me. Roberto, let's have dinner together. Roberto, let's have a drink. Roberto.
Era todo el tiempo, Roberto, help me. Roberto, ayúdame. Roberto, vamos cenar. Roberto, vamos a tomar una agua. Roberto.
Always Roberto Ronaldo. And for me, it has been an honor to grow up with him. And even today, to talk to him on the phone and know that he is well and happy. Today, he is president. Ronaldo,
True
the manager.
friendship.
Ronaldo, the
Amazing.
intellectual. Very funny. He's just an spectacular person.
The force in words. The bet on winning.
Guys, check
with
out the
BetWinner.
original.
Your ultimate partner
I'm not a
for smart
substitute
bets.
for the original.
Join
I'm
the
doing
winning team
reactions.
with BetWinner.
See his
You've just
podcast is
mentioned
great.
there
This
the
was
World
uploaded.
Cup,
Let's
what
see
happened.
when. Oh, this is
1998.
new. This is from this season.
Can you tell us what happened before that final? What really happened with R9? He was sick. What really happened before the final?
Ronnie was fine. He was super calm at the hotel. We turned on the TV at 10 in the morning. We watched all the World Cup news. went down to
hemos
the
visto
dining
todas las
room, we
noticias
ate,
del Mundial.
sat there, and talked about the Brazil-France match.
Bajamos al
And
comedor,
when we got back to the
comimos,
room,
nos
I
sentamos
felt
ahí,
like
hablamos
he was feeling weak
del
and
partido
tired, but
Brasil-Francia.
I didn't understand
Y
why.
cuando
Then
volvimos a la
he turned the
habitación,
TV on again,
siento
we
que
lie
estaba
down,
débil.
and the physical
Me
tiredness
veía
made him
cansado, pero no
completely
entendí
shut
el
down.
motivo. Entonces,
Wow.
I
conecta
really
la
don't
tele
know.
otra vez,
I
nos
don't know
pusimos de lado
if it was
y
an
él,
epileptic or it was a
cansancio
convulsion.
físico, le ha
I
hecho
just
bloquearse
felt
entero.
he got attention.
No sé, de verdad,
And
no
I
sé
talked to
si era
him a lot on the
un ataque
phone, and I
epiléptico,
asked,
una
"Are you having any
convulsión
problems?"
o
And he says,
tensión,
"No, I'm fine.
pero
Nothing is wrong,
nunca
but
más ha
those
Yeah, he
things can
can't
happen
show
in
it
life."
outside, you know. He can't show it outside. He has to be strong because he was the leader of this team. He was still very young. He was still very, very young. I believe he was 22 in 1998, but he was considered like they were considered the favorites. They were the champions from 94, which Ronnie, now I'm going to call him Ronnie, like, and Ronnie was considered the best in the world. It wasn't Zidane. Zidane became that famous later. Zidane was in a way considered a little bit a loser back then. I remember the pundit from Israel saying, "Will he ever be able to win something?" This is Zidane, and Zidane was young as also. He was also like in his mid-20s or whatever. But there was this criticism, about football pundits, and as fans, we get angry, and then after 3 bad games, we throw away the manager and throw away the player and everything. So then he became, world renowned because he won the World Cup with 2 headers. There are these stories, right? In '94, you had what's his name from Italy, one of the greatest legends of his time, just kicking the ball out in the penalty shootout. And then you had like the national team in 1990 for Argentina not showing up, and you had all kind of different stories in different World Cups. 1974, Holland was supposed to be the main team that is going to win everything, and Cruyff just didn't arrive to the game. He wasn't at his best. He just didn't operate the way that he should have, and that's football history. Some people win, some people lose, but he came back 4 years later as the big winner. R9. He scored 8 goals in this World Cup. This was the first major tournament that I watched from start to finish. I enjoyed every moment that I watched Brazil, and it's historic, And Roberto Carlos was there.
nunca más ha tenido nada.
A lot
Solo
of
naquele
pressure.
momento,
Ronaldo at that
no
time
día de la
was the
final,
number 1 in the world, and we had to
hotel,
take great care of
directamente
him.
para el hospital. Y
Give
yo
him
hablo
a
mucho
lot
con
of
él por
encouragement.
teléfono y
We
pregunto,
need
"¿Tú
Ronnie in the
tienes algún
final.
problema?"
We
No,
lost
yo estoy
because
súper bien,
France was
tranquilo, no
better.
pasa nada. Pero
But
son
it's
cosas
not
de la
easy
vida,
for
¿no?
Ronnie to
Mucha
handle so
presión.
much
Ronaldo
pressure.
en aquella época era el número 1 del mundo. Y
And when
teníamos
there
que
is an
cuidarlo
emotional,
muchísimo,
you
darle
automatically
mucho
shut down.
ánimo.
So for me, it
Necesitábamos a
was a
Ronnie en la
normal,
final.
natural
Perdimos
thing. And
porque
today,
Francia ha
Ronnie is
sido
very
mejor.
strong.
Pero Ronnie
That's the
no
most
es, no
important
es
thing.
fácil
He's still alive, which is
aguantar tanta
very
presión, y
important.
cuando
First
hay una
health and
descarga
then work.
emocional, automáticamente te bloqueas.
So nobody knew what happened to him. Just all of a sudden he became sick, and before that he was totally fine. Do you think it was food poisoning? Did you think something happened? I mean, it was final against the host country, France. Obviously, the best player at that moment. All of a sudden became sick. Was that surprising to you guys? Maybe something happened?
Sí, mucha
Yes, a lot of
gente,
people was talking
mucha
about
gente habla del
water
agua,
poison
de
or
la,
food
de la
poison.
comida,
Well,
pero
there is
no hay
nothing.
nada.
It was
Era
more
más
of an
un
emotional issue. There was a lot of pressure on Ronnie, and when he relaxed to go
donde
to the
existían
match,
muchas
he felt unwell.
presiones sobre
But
Ronnie,
there is no
y
food
cuando
issue.
él se
They
ha
haven't done
relajado para
anything
ir al
to us.
partido, se
And
siente bien.
France
Pero no hay
was
nada de
great. They
comida,
treat
no,
us very
no han
well.
hecho
It was an
nada, y
incredible
Francia
atmosphere.
se
The
ha
only
portado muy
problem
bien con
was
nosotros, un ambiente increíble.
there was
El
a lot
único
of
problema es
pressure
que
on
había
him,
mucha presión,
a lot of
mucha
tension at that
tensión
time.
en aquel
After a
momento,
season with so many
y
matches, then the
una
injury,
temporada con
a lot
muchos
of things were
partidos,
going on
tantas
through Ronnie's
lesiones, y había
head
muchas cosas en la cabeza de Ronnie que no eran
that were not
normales.
normal, and
Y
he
él se
felt
sintió
unwell,
mal,
and that's the end. That's the
y
end
ahí
of
se
the
acaba
story.
la historia.
But then he carried on to play that final. He went on to play that final. Was there pressure on him that he has to play that final? And that's, there was a few rumors we heard. There was few rumors. He was Nike ambassador, the best Nike ambassador that time.
Not easy.
Not easy, huh? So a World Cup final, he has to play.
Yeah.
Do you think there was pressure from Nike that he has to play in that final?
I don't think so. On the day of the match, when he came out of his room to get into the ambulance to go to the hospital, he
The
told me,
reason that he
Roberto,
had
speak
the pressure was that he wanted to win. He just said, I'm fine, because he wanted to take it on himself. So he put the pressure on himself. It's not something external. It's he felt it, the responsibility to take it on his back. That's my view on this.
to Zico and Zagallo
I want to play.
and tell them I want to play. And I said, Ronaldo, calm down, calm down. And Ronnie told me, it feels like a boss run over me. I said, Ronnie, it's going to be difficult for you to play in the final. And he said, no. I cannot miss this match. There is no pain in my body
Exactly.
that is going to take me out of this final. After the hospital, when he arrived to Saint Denis, he said, I want to play. I'm not going to miss this match. I want to play the final. And I said, oh my God, I'm going to speak to Zagallo. Mister, is Ronnie going to play? No. He's not going to play. Edmundo is going to play. And Edmundo in the first 11. Okay. When Ronnie returns from hospital to Saint Denis, he's already getting changed to do the warm-up. Everyone inside the dressing room, and I think, oh my God, this is going to get messy. Edmundo was confident that he was going to play. At the end, Edmundo didn't play. When Zagallo says, Edmundo, you are on the bench, Ronaldo will play, that's when the game ends.
The dressing room.
This is when the match ends for us because the atmosphere has changed. The atmosphere was already bad at the hotel with Ronnie's problem. The atmosphere had completely changed.
Wow. So he went, the ambulance came and picked him up and took him to the hospital?
Hotel, hospital, Saint Denis.
Hotel, hospital?
Hospital stadium.
To the pitch,
For warm up.
for warm-up.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's Brazil.
So at that point, when the manager changed again the lineup, you said that the feeling changed. Did you guys then felt, we are going to lose this game? What was the feeling like after that?
But in the end, when Ronnie came to the stadium and completely changed the starting 11,
Ahí se terminó el partido. Pero se terminó de vez
then the match started, Cafu passed the ball to Ronnie,
al estadio.
and Barthez came out to clear the ball and headed towards to Ronnie, and Ronnie fell down. We all said, oh my God, this Ronnie's dead again, Ronnie's dead, he's dead, and we all rushed over. We didn't even want to go near him because it was a very heavy and negative day for the team, but in the end, it wasn't sad to lose the final. The atmosphere was clear. We were all friends.
Pero al final no ha sido triste por perder la final.
This is an
And
impossible
everyone was worried
situation.
about Ronnie.
And it's part of history
Que
now.
éramos todos amigos. Y
What can you
What
say?
we wanted
was
was
what
for
it
Ronnie
was.
to continue living a happy life.
He was the loser, and then
that's
he
what
came back
happened.
as the
We
winner
lost the
4 years
final.
later.
Lo que queríamos é que Ronnie siguiera vivendo feliz.
But it was a very different day for us,
Pasó. Perdimos la final.
who are we
pero ha
are
sido un
connected
día
to
muy
football.
Diferente para nosotros que somos ligados al fútbol.
But then, of course, 4 years later, 2002, right? You went on to win it. Yeah.
E Ronaldo don't sleep.
Too much party. Tell us, how was the feeling after that?
Wow.
After you guys went on to
The
win?
top moment, the best moment.
I love the backstage
We
stories here.
remember 98 a lot. Everything we did wrong in 98, we did it right.
In 98.
98.
Happy
Well, we
birthday
didn't
to
repeat
dear Real
what we did
Madrid.
in
Oh my
98.
God.
But the most interesting thing, Brazil, Germany in the final, during the nap, during the afternoon siesta, Ronnie was awake the whole time, and that was the
En la
best.
dormida, en la siesta, de la tarde, Ronnie.
We
todo el tiempo
forgot
despierto.
about Germany,
Isso é sempre
Brazil
melhor.
2-0. But
Nos
those
olvidamos
3
de
hours,
Alemanha.
those 3
Brasil
hours
2,
before
2 a
and
0,
after
ok.
the game were the
Pero
best of all.
Essas 3 horas antes del partido, before
It
the
was a
game,
really fun
ha sido las
atmosphere in the
mejores de todas.
hotel, on the
Ha sido un
bus, and in the
ambiente
locker
muy
room
divertido
because
del hotel,
we knew Ronnie
del
was going to be a
autobús
key
y del
player.
vestuario, porque sabíamos que Ronnie iba a ser decisivo.
Before the game, was he checking everything he was eating? No water. No.
Nothing.
Nada.
Everything
Só
was calm.
tranquilo,
We were
estábamos
just
tranquilos,
relaxing,
contando
telling
histórias,
stories,
pero
but always
mirando a
keeping an
Ronnie.
eye on Ronnie. Ronnie. Today, no, eh? Today, he was amazing. He was
Today he has to play.
spectacular.
He scored a brace
Okay.
that killed Germany
Parties.
against Oliver Kahn.
We know
Couldn't
he's
reach
a
the
fantastic
balls.
player. Brilliant
Oh my
player.
God, he killed
But
this game.
Some
He
of his
killed it.
parties. Please tell us. We know he
You
lo-
knew,
he
I
loves to
knew,
enjoy
I knew
himself.
that it would be
And Brazilian,
Ronaldo.
I know.
I knew that he had to be
I'm Brazilian.
the main player to kill the
You
game.
guys, you have the best parties, but
An
Ronaldo,
incredible final.
he has the best party.
É,
Tell us about some of his parties. I mean, you've been to some of the parties. How was the parties? Please tell us.
I heard an interview with Ronnie here in Spain with Jorge Valdano, who was working in
Aqui em
TV
Espanha.
at the time.
com Jorge Valdano, you know? Jorge Valdano?
Valdano,
é na
yeah,
época.
Valdano, yeah.
One of the
Narrava na
questions
televisão.
was,
E
everyone
uma das
says you
perguntas,
throw a lot of
uma
parties.
das questões era todo
And
mundo
Ronnie
fala
said, Jorge,
que tu
I
haces
only throw
estas
parties
fiestas
when Real Madrid
muito
wins.
fáceis, ¿no? Y Ronnie ha dicho, Jorge,
And since we
yo
always
solo-
win,
That's funny.
there is always a
hago
party.
Fiestas donde Real Madrid gana.
But this
Y
is
como
football.
ganamos
It's
That's
music,
funny.
parties and
Siempre
friends.
fiesta.
That's the best thing there is
No,
because
en el
a footballer
fútbol,
life is a
en el
maximum of
fútbol,
20 years,
música.
today 23 or 24 years in our time.
Fiestas,
Yeah.
amigos, friends.
And at
Isso é
30 or
roteado,
32,
porque a vida de
the end of
futebolista,
our careers,
máximo
and we made the most of
20
it.
anos. 23, 24 years. Em nossa época, com 30 anos, 32 anos, finish carreira. E nós
Me,
outros
Ronnie,
aproveitávamos
and
muito.
the other players from Brazil, Ronaldinho, and Ronnie had this need to always celebrate, always to be happy. And that marked Ronnie's story a bit.
Celebrar sempre, sempre feliz, sempre happy.
That's
E
why
isso
people
marcou
have
um
so
pouco a
much
história de
affection and
Ronnie.
respect
Por
for
isso
him
que
because he
a gente,
never
ele tem
stopped
muito
doing what he
carinho, muito
really
respeito,
loved.
Porque ele nunca ha dejado de hacer lo que ele queria.
Okay,
Fantastic.
that's another approach.
If you have to go on a Saturday night,
I like to
you want to
celebrate
go
too.
party, and there is a Ronaldo party, and there's a Ronaldinho party. Which one will you choose to go and have a good time?
Por exemplo,
For example, tomorrow again at 5 p.m.,
5 da tarde,
Ronaldinho 2 goals, Ronaldo 2 goals,
Ronaldo 2 goles,
Roberto Carlos 1 goal, no problem.
problema,
We can have a
party
party.
não é problema.
But which party is he gonna go to?
Apart from that,
organizar
there
el
is no
sistema de
problem organizing the team
Solo para
system,
organizar
only
el sistema
organizing
del partido
systems
de
for
mañana.
tomorrow's match.
All right. Team talk and match plan, yeah. I understand.
Now we can talk. Now you can talk.
Yeah.
We are former players. There is no problem.
Ronaldo party, huh?
Yeah, every time.
Okay. One player that that I admired when I started playing, when I joined Chelsea. I watched him. I admired the way he played, and and then I took over his position when he retired. Claude Makelele. We talk about the Galacticos, how amazing you guys were.
Yeah, you can compare those two players.
But
Obi
how
Mikel and
important was Claude
Makelele
Makelele in
two
that
different,
Galactico team back then?
two different
was lucky
levels
enough
completely.
to arrive
Tenido la
at Real
suerte
Madrid.
de chegar
in
Real
96.
Madrid en 1996. Y
And in
en
Real
el
Madrid, we had at that
teníamos a
time Fernando Redondo,
Wow, what a name!
an elegant Argentinian with a lot of skill.
Right.
Usava
Fernando
muito.
was
Fernando
spectacular.
era espetáculo. Luego de Fernando,
Then there was Christian Carembeu.
Christian Carembeu.
Okay, he was nice.
Y
He
And
was
then
okay.
right after,
Claude
Claude
Makelele.
Makelele, who was extraordinary,
Extraordinario.
small,
Finito,
incredible
pequeñito.
fast.
Pero corría muchísimo.
He was also one of my close friends. And I say, Claude, you in front of the defense, and then you steal the ball, and then give it to someone who knows how to play the ball.
Frente de la defensa, Claude.
a very complete player. It's a shame he was only at Madrid for a short time, but when Makelele was
Yes.
there, he did many important things for the club and for the team. He brought joy to the team. He was an example to follow. People don't talk about him much. They talk more about Claude Makelele with you at Chelsea, but here at Real Madrid, he was a very high-level player.
Incredible.
The problem is that he was playing with the
He used to
Galacticos.
distribute the ball in such a classic way. He used to know when to stop and when to give the ball to the side or in front, and he used to distribute the ball. He would never know how to kick the ball. I don't even remember if I saw him score a goal whenever I saw him. But he knew how to go back, and he would go so naturally back to help the central defenders. And I think he did it more in Chelsea. He would really go back and really be even behind the center backs. And I believe that he reinvented this position. Incredible player.
Like Zidane, Figo, and Beckham.
Pero aquí en el Real Madrid a un nivel muy alto, muy alto. Problema que
But for us, Claude Makelele has been a very important piece
para nosotros
and a player for the
una
team.
pieza y un jugador muy pero muy importante para el equipo.
Do you think the fans and the club understood how important he was when he left? Because
What a great question.
honestly, everybody was watching and supporting Real Madrid then saw that the team was not the same balance when Claude Makelele left. Was that the feeling you guys had that he shouldn't have left?
He wasn't the
Makelele
only
left
one
the
that
club
left.
for a technical
There were
decision.
a number of central midfielders that left. There was another player that signed for Chelsea, and there was another player that used to play alongside Claude Makelele. I can't remember his name now, but he was very, very good, very close, like to the same position, and playing a lot of time together with Makelele. And he also left, so they just decided we don't need central midfielder anymore, which is preposterous when you think about it. There was a point during the 23-24 season when you had Guti here and Beckham here, or vice versa, doesn't matter. One central defender was Guti, the striker Guti, the number 10 Guti later, and the other one was David Beckham. Not playing on the flank, not playing as a right back or whatever, playing as a central midfielder, as a DM. What can you say?
Left
It's
Real
good that
Madrid,
those times have
but then
passed
the
away.
club immediately signed Cambiaso. So Madrid realized they made a mistake letting Makelele go to another club, and then they quickly understood their club needs someone like Makelele, and that's why they signed Cambiaso, to fill the void by lifting the absence of a player such a big like Makelele.
Not a replacement
then
whatsoever.
Casemiro
Cambiaso was
didn't
great for
replace him
Inter,
straight
but
away.
he was too young for. He wasn't that good
Gravesen
when he
replaced
was
him.
at Real Madrid.
We've heard so many stories about
Yes,
Gravesen.
Gravesen. Gravesen was okay. He wasn't great, but he was okay.
Tell us, is he a madman?
People
as
say that he
everybody
was
said? He is.
average or low
Every team
low
needs a
quality, but
crazy
that's not
guy.
true. He was okay.
And Gravensen was like a real hooligan. Robinho, oh my God, Robinho will do things that Gravensen want to kill him.
Y Gravesen le quería matar.
All right, guys, we are going to continue with Gravesen and more stories about the Luxemburgo era, 2004, 2005. In the next part, we're going to continue with part number 2. This has been part number 1. Thank you so much for joining the channel. A la Madrid y nada más, and see you in the next one.